In this video, we'll create a beautiful piece of floral lettering, and we'll do it all using only one brush in Procreate. Happy Tuesday, friends. My name is Tila, and today we'll create some easy floral lettering in Procreate using one pressure-sensitive brush. In this tutorial, I'll be using the Bumpy Ink brush from my Font Lovers brush set, which is one of my favorites because it has this nice rough edge to give it extra character while also being a solid brush. It was originally designed as a lettering brush, so there's a lot of pressure variation built into the brush. You can really use any brush that you would like for this project, but my recommendation is to use a pressure-sensitive one. That way you can just pack in a little bit of extra detail. The color palette is available for free as always. Just tap on the link in the video description and you can download and install it. I'm going to start by creating a brand new canvas. I've listed my specs on screen, and let's begin. Okay, I've got my brand new canvas, and the first thing I'm going to do is set my background color to this really nice, bright and sunny light yellow, and then I'm going to switch to my dark blue color for the lettering. So I'm grabbing my Bumpy Ink brush from the Font Lovers brush set. I'm adjusting my brush size to about 10%, and then I'm going to go up to the wrench, canvas, and turn on my drawing guide to keep all of my lettering straight. And you can write any message you'd like right here. You can use typable text if you'd like. I'm going to write it just at whatever size is comfortable for me, and then to increase the size, so I am selecting it, make sure uniform and snapping is turned on, and now I'm going to scale it up so I can fit my canvas nice and comfortably. And I'm going to use this as a base so I can redraw right on top of it. So I'm reducing the opacity of this layer so I can use it as a template, creating a brand new layer right above it, and I'm increasing my brush size just slightly, and this will allow me to have those crisp edges of the lettering, because whenever you enlarge anything in a pixel-based program like Procreate, you're stretching your pixels, so that's why pixels get a little blurry the larger you make them or the larger you stretch them. So by redrawing it, it's keeping all those edges nice and crisp. So now I can turn off that template. I'm taking a final look at it, making sure everything feels okay, and now I know I can get rid of that template layer. I'm all set with my brand new layer. Renaming this layer lettering, creating a brand new layer right above it, label this layer leaves, and we're going to establish where these leaves are going to be put in. I'm turning off the drawing guide because I don't need that anymore, and grabbing that kind of sage teal color. So when we're looking at our lettering and figuring out where the leaves go, we want to look for any white space or negative space around our lettering. So any gaps or holes you see in your general layout, that's what you want to take advantage of and kind of tuck them into the lettering. You can see I'm showing a few areas where we can do that with this lettering. So I'm just going to come in here and draw a few really simple leaves up. And by drawing the stem pointing towards the lettering, we're drawing the viewer's attention directly to our message. So that's why everything is kind of stemming and emanating from our message. So I'm just looking for any little gaps that I can place these leaves. You can vary up the size, you can vary up the quantity of leaves. I'm kind of keeping it to 2 per branch here, but feel free to add as many as you'd like. I'm keeping mine as an open style leaf, but you can definitely fill those in if you prefer that style. So there's a lot of freedom here to make it your own. I'm just adjusting these leaves just a little bit because it felt slightly crowded near the lettering. I'm going to create a brand new layer right above the leaves layer and grab my yellow color for the stamens of my daisies that I'm going to put in. So these are going to all face sideways, so that's why they're oval in shape. And I'm plotting these out in the 4 corners to kind of frame our artwork and our message. So you can see I've got some at the top and at the bottom in the corners. So these are going to work as a frame element. I'm going to create a brand new layer and grab the same color as our background color. So it's the lightest one. Reduce your brush way down, and we're just going to put a few little dots at the very base of these ovals so we can begin dictating the direction that these daisies are facing. Next, I'm going to tap on the leaves layer because this needs to be underneath everything we just drew. Create a brand new layer and grab the reddish color, and these are going to be the petals. I'm increasing my brush size slightly, and we're only going to draw petals halfway around the stamen, so it reads as being a sideways facing daisy. So you can see these are really, really simple petals, and we're just covering half of the stamen with these. And now the viewer will be able to easily see which direction all these daisies are facing. So once you have that, now we have to add in our stems right underneath the petal layer. So tap on the leaves layer, create a brand new layer right above it. We're going to switch to the dark blue color, the same blue that we used for the lettering, and reduce the brush size so it's not competing with the size of the petals, and draw some stems down. You don't have to draw stems on the ones that are super close to the lettering if it gets a little uncomfortable. I like having a little bit of space there, but feel free to either draw all these in, or you could exclude them if you wanted to as well. Next, I'm going to group all these layers together and label this side daisies. And then we're going to create a brand new layer right above the side daisies group, grab the yellow again, and now we're going to create some really simple supporting florals. And these are going to go all the way around the layout. So anywhere there's a lot of white space between these leaves, we're going to add in these kind of upside down teardrop shapes. And these are going to tuck in all different places. Sometimes I make groups of 2, and other times I'll just have a single one here and there. So I'm just going around the layout, and you can make this as dense as you want. You can put as many in as you would prefer for your layout. And once you have those, create a brand new layer right above the stamens and grab your pink color. And now we're going to paint in the front petals of these smaller supporting flowers. So these are really, really simple. They're almost like a leaf shape, and we're going to paint those on all of the stamens that we just created. Once you have those complete, we're going to create a brand new layer underneath both of the layers that we already created. So tap on the side daisies group, create a brand new layer, and this is going to be the back petals. So grab the red color. So we've got a darker color to show that these are behind the stamen and the front petals, and these are kind of a scalloped edged petal in the back. So I'm drawing about 4 of these, and just make sure that it's filled in so you don't see any gaps through to the background. Once you have all those drawn in, now we can add in our stem, but we're going to add this one to the very top because we're going to create a transition from our petals to our stem, so everything looks nice and tidy where they meet at that point. So this size is about 3%. I've got the blue again that we used for the lettering. I'm drawing kind of a triangle with a curved edge, and then drawing that simple line down to act as the stem. So you can see all these stems are pointing back to our message. So the eye is continually going back to whatever message we have there. I'm grouping all those layers together and labeling this one small flowers. Create a brand new layer, grab your orange or your yellow color, and we're going to create some front-facing daisies now to fill in any remaining gaps that we have. So I just find different places to plant these little dots. I will vary up the size of them to add a little bit of extra visual interest. I will keep some that are close to each other and others that are spread further apart. So there are a lot of ways that you can add dynamics to your piece by just changing up proximity and scale. Once you have those done, create a brand new layer, and we're going to paint in the petals, and this time it's the same exact process as the side daisies, only this time we're going to be painting our petals all the way around instead of only half. So once you have all those painted in, all the floral components are finished, so we're going to group those together and label this one front daisies. Next, create a brand new layer and drag it all the way underneath everything, so it's right above the background color layer, and switch to the second yellow color. It's really important that this one's just a little bit darker than our background. So this is going to act as extra fill, it's going to balance the piece, and it's going to offer some support to all of these elements to sit on top of without competing. So these are really simple symmetrical leaf shapes. If you've seen some of my tutorials in the past, you know this is one of my favorite foliage shapes because it's really hard working and it's still interesting without overpowering any floral or other foliage elements. So I'm just going around, I'm changing up the scale, I'm tucking it into places that maybe need something a little bit extra, coming around, and these are all fairly large, so they're around the same scale as our initial leaves, but they're in the background, so they're not competing. So that's how to create easy floral lettering in Procreate using only one brush. Once again, links to everything mentioned in this tutorial are right in the video description. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week.